right? So we still have our carbon with 4 valence electrons. All right, now let us look at the possibility still for carbon and hydrogen combining together. Let me just redraw this carbon atom like this, right? I will have this carbon with 4 valence electrons, and I will have this other carbon, all right, also with 4 valence electrons. And I have my hydrogen here with 1 electron and another hydrogen here with 1 electron. So how can these atoms combine so that at the end all of them will become stable? So for hydrogen, it just needs to share this 1 pair of electrons with carbon, right? And for carbon, all right, notice that this carbon can share, right, these electrons so that it will now have 2, 4, 6, 8 electrons, and this carbon atom can share this one. So now it will have 2, 4, 6, and 8 electrons. We can redraw this with carbon. All right, so triple bond C, you have a single bond H and a single bond H, right? We can rewrite this as a C2H2, C2H2. So notice that here you have a triple bond, all right? And here you have your single bonds. If we were to show that by way of a model, it would be this right here, right? So you notice your carbon, you have your triple bond, and you have your single bonds for hydrogen, all right? So just to summarize, now carbon is a very special atom. It can form a single bond, it can form double bonds, it can form triple bonds, depending on the atom it is sharing electrons with, right? So I will post here, and let us look at some more examples of covalent bonds. Okay, so let's look at another example here, and we will go back to our nitrogen atom. So we said nitrogen has 5 valence electrons, and let me just redraw nitrogen, all right? So I can draw nitrogen like this, right? Earlier on, we had an example where we had nitrogen combining with itself, and we have nitrogen with a triple bond N, and that is your N2, or your nitrogen gas, okay? So this time, let us look at the possibility of nitrogen combining with hydrogen. So these are your hydrogen atoms, and this is the nitrogen atom. So how can the hydrogen and nitrogen combine so that at the end, all of them will be stable? Now notice that each hydrogen atom can only share 1 electron, and nitrogen needs 3 electrons to become stable. So how about we have each hydrogen sharing 1 pair of electrons with nitrogen here, so that if you look at it, each hydrogen atom is now stable with 2 electrons each, right? And your nitrogen is also now stable with 8 electrons, right? So now I can redraw this as N, right? I will have my single bonds with each hydrogen atom, right? So single bond hydrogen atom, all right? And this one, I can rewrite the formula as NH3, and class, this is what we call your ammonia, okay? And if we were to show that by way of a model, it would be this right here, okay? So you have your nitrogen combining with each of the hydrogens, and you have the single bonds, right? So you have nitrogen plus 3 hydrogen atoms sharing electrons, and you have your ammonia. Okay, so just to summarize then, what the examples, all the examples that we have discussed so far for covalent bonding. All right. So we said, what's covalent bonding again? We said this is the sharing of electrons between non-metals. All right. So those are our keywords. We had hydrogen. So this is H2. This is your hydrogen gas. We had O double bond O. This is O2. This is your oxygen gas. We also had HOH. This is your H2O, and that is your water. We had N, triple bond N, right? This is your N2. This is your nitrogen gas. Okay. We had C, triple bond C. We have HH, and this is your C2H2. All right. This is actually your S sign. You have H. Okay, let me just try to write other examples for you. All right, the other examples that we have discussed. You have your C, double bond C, and you have H. All right, so we had C2H4. This is your ethene. We have also looked at C, all right, combining with 4 hydrogen atoms, your CH4, and that is your methane. Okay, right. I will post here and let us look at other examples of covalent compounds.